guys. How is everybody tonight? Keto for Real Life people here. 6:31 and we are beginning. I feel like that's a little tall. I feel like, oh look, I fit in there better. Yay. How's everybody tonight? I'm going to give this a minute as per my norm. And let's see who's coming on. Hey, Brittany, I see you there. Hope you're having a great Monday so far. I see Olga, Nancy. Hi, guys. Hi, guys. Michelle. Yes. Oh, my goodness. I'm super excited about tonight. I always think to myself, I'm going to have a whole bunch of notes. I carry this like I know what I'm doing, and then I wing it. Hi, evening to you too. Hello, Nancy. Hi, everybody. Okay, so tonight I'm just going to chit chat for a few minutes. Oh, I know what I can chit chat about. I want to give it a few minutes because I know that we have a lot of people attending and I want the numbers to build. So, you know, at this point, if you know anybody who needs to start keto, who wants to start keto, but they don't know how, or you've started it or restarting it, do your likes and shares. I mean, you've got that little share button right there. Share it or invite family, friends, tag somebody who might need this information. So, hi, Nancy from Nova Scotia, Canada. Woo, cool beans. Hey, like I said, I'm giving everybody a minute. I see people are popping in. I want to show you all what I made today. Okay, are you ready? Here, I'm going to jump off for a second. Of course. I'm doing this indoors tonight because it is windy and we are expecting some strong weather here in East Texas tomorrow and the next day. So if I was to sit out on my pretty little porch, it would sound like a hurricane right now. Hello, Stephanie. Hi, Rebecca. Hi, Kathy. I saw you go by. Look, guys, I put them in little baggies, but I want to show you. Look, I made keto bread, and it is soft. It smells like regular bread. It tastes like regular bread, and it was super fast and super easy. I've posted the recipe, I think, in group already, guys. But you guys have got to try this. Super, super simple. I can't believe that I waited so long. I was just telling my friend Kathy over in another message format that I've never been able to make bread my whole life. I'm a wonderful cook, but bread's just not my thing. You know, it's my daughter's thing. And who knew keto was going to be my first bread success? I mean, true success. I love it. I loved it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Delicious. Of course, I tweaked the recipe. I saw the recipe and I thought it needs some help already. I can see it needs help. So I helped it along and I'm very pleased with the results. Okay, we are there. I think we are really good here. Numbers are still going. I saw that there were at least 40 going to be in attendance, and we are right at that. So, again, if, like I said, during this live, if you want to invite somebody or tag somebody, feel free to do it, okay? And we're getting ready to go. I don't know why I grabbed this. Heard about our fast bombs. Can't wait to hear more. Yes, they're going to be delicious. We're going to get into fast bombs, probably not today on this live. Maybe on Wellness Wednesday for sure, though, because this live is about getting started on keto. Starting keto if you're a brand new person. I've gotten messages today. I've got day one, you know, or 1 week in, or 2 weeks, or 3 weeks, and so you're fairly new. So we're going to try to stick to topic. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you some information, but I really wanted this live to be about question and answer a lot, because I can tell you what I know to do and how to start keto. And I know that some of you guys, you know, get some things confused, or you just don't quite understand how something works. So I would really encourage you guys tonight, when it's time, put your questions in that little box there, and I will go through them, and I will answer as many as I possibly can for you guys. Okay? Yeah, see? Tanisha Chapman. Yay, perfect timing. I started today. Oh, this was just great. I'm so glad I did that. Okay. So if you, first of all, I just want to say this. If you are just considering starting keto, please stop and think about it before you actually take the leap. This is something I can't stress enough. Keto is not a diet that you get a quick fix from. It's not like you want to drop, 20, 30, 40, 50, 100, 150 pounds, and when you get to your goal that you're going to get to go back to eating the things you used to enjoy that got you where you are in the first place. Okay? So, here's the thing. Be mindful. Be aware of the things that you're going to be giving up for the rest of your life. You are not going to be eating wheat or flour or grains. You're not going to be eating beans. You're not going to be eating rice. You're not going to be eating potatoes. You're not going to get to go to Taco Bell. You're not going to be able to have a Big Mac. You're not going to be able to do a lot of things. And I look at it like this, like 80% of the food that's out there today in the restaurants, in the grocery stores, you're not going to touch. There's no processed stuff. There's no cakes. There's no cookies from the store. Now, that's not to say that on keto we haven't found ways around all the things that we enjoy for the most part. But if you're not ready up here, you're probably not going to be ready for keto. Okay? It's the truth, and I don't want to sugarcoat things and make you think that this is the easiest thing you're ever going to do in your life, and it's all going to be, rainbows and unicorns, because, it's the first 3 weeks I would say, are the most transitional and difficult. Once you get your first 3 weeks down, man, I think for me personally, a lot of people I know, it just becomes easier and easier. It's just like learning to ride a bike. You're a little wobbly at first, but once you learn it, you just pretty much cannot unlearn it, okay? So let's start with that. Be mindful and be ready upstairs, and you will have a much better chance of being successful during your first, second, and third week of keto, okay? Now then, let's get started. I post in group the grocery list. You can eat all the meats you want: beef, pork, poultry, game, fish, seafood, shellfish. You can have all of that you want. You can eat a lot of vegetables. There's all your dark leafy greens, there's cabbage, there's Brussels sprouts, there's broccoli, there's lettuce, tomatoes, onions, peppers, zucchinis, crookneck squash, mushrooms. I mean, there's a whole list of wonderful avocados, vegetables. You can have, and this is not complete, you guys, this is just a generalized list, okay? So, and then in your fruits, you can have your berries: strawberries, raspberries, blackberries, elderberries, and I'm sure blueberries, okay? And then you've got things that you can work with, like nuts and nut flours. They are going to come in very, very, very handy for you as you learn to cook keto and use those recipes or those ingredients, okay? Now let's talk fats, because fats are going to be your very best friend in the whole wide world. You are going to learn that I say this all the time. Fats first, fats first. I can't push fats enough. But we do want to make sure that they are good fats and they are keto approved fats. The fats that you want to be eating are things like butter, real butter. It doesn't have to be grass-fed, guys. Now, let me say this. I am a keto for real life person. This is why the group is called Keto for Real Life. If we could all afford to eat grass-fed butter and organic hens that have name tags on their backs, we would do it. But, we have to be real. If you can afford organic and grass-fed and the best of the best, go for it. But if you're like most of us who, work and live payday to payday, we shop at Walmart. We buy what we can when we can, okay? So that's my approach to keto for everything. Do what you can do and don't think that you have to spend a lot of money, okay? If you don't have it, you don't have it. All right? So, now let's get back to fats because they are your best friend. Like I said, butter, bacon fat, coconut oil, avocados and avocado oil, ghee, lard, which is the pure fat from pork, and tallow, which is the pure fat from beef. And then there are some other nut oils and olive oil. Let's not forget that either. Extra virgin olive oil. You can go to the store, and I always suggest start simple, okay? Start very, very, very simple. Here's another big aha moment, okay? The person who's going to start keto and start eating clean, if you are learning it correctly and you do it correctly, you will have such good success. A lot of times we jump into the keto or Atkins thing because people confuse it. There's a difference between a low carb diet and a keto diet. Keto is high fat, moderate protein, and low carb. Atkins works more on higher protein, healthy fats, and low carb. So there is a difference, guys, all right? So when we start this diet and when you start eating keto, I always recommend try to eat clean, especially your first 2 weeks, especially if I don't get anything across to y'all tonight, eating clean sets the tone, okay? Eating clean sets the tone of how you're going to go forward. For instance, everybody asks me for meal plans. Do you guys know, you see all this beautiful food that I post pictures of, but do you really see how basic it is? It is clean most of the time. Things like start your morning with a couple of eggs cooked in butter, with butter from the pan poured on the egg, some bacon, 2-3 slices, avocado sliced up on your plate, a handful of tomatoes. It's clean. There's no cheese on it. There's no dairy on it. There's no almond pancake. There's no there's no bulletproof coffees. There's just a plate of beautiful, clean food that is loaded with good, healthy fat that is going to start satiating you and making you full, and it's going to start burning belly fat. Within 3 days, you can be in ketosis within 3 days of starting the keto diet if you eat really nice and clean. And you should never be hungry on the keto diet, guys. I do hear this, and it actually hurts my heart. I'm like, nobody should ever be hungry on keto. The only time I ever get hungry on keto is, say I'm off running for the day and I just didn't have any food and I haven't had a chance to eat. But overall, I'm never hungry on keto. That's the freedom of keto. That's the absolute, to me, the epitome of reward. Is for so many years, I lived my life a slave to food. Even if I ate until I was ready to burst, I was always hungry. Why? Because I was a sugar and carb addict. Most of us have that. We've all got that going on. So don't be hungry. And if you're eating clean and you have that really clean breakfast, and then you move on to the next phase of the day, which is, again, on your first 3 weeks, I can't say this enough, get some broth. It's going to be really important because it's full of sodium, and you're going to add some fat to it. It's going to be satiating, and it's going to help keep your electrolytes balanced, as well as keep you full. So say a great breakfast, and then a good cup of broth. If you can make your own bone broth, you can do that. The recipe is posted in the files. If you can't, buy it. If you can't get broth in the box, get a bottle of the little jar with the little cubes in it. Do what you gotta do, okay? That's the way we're gonna look at this. Now then, when you turn around and eat dinner, I mean, you could make yourself a steak, you could have some chicken, you could have a pot roast, you could have hamburger patty, you could make tacos, you know, have a good meal, but you want to make sure that you add fat. Now see, we get the pattern here. Fat with breakfast, fat with broth, and then fat with dinner. So if, for instance, I had thrown some grilled chicken on the grill, but then I went ahead and made some broccoli, I would take butter and either melt it and just drizzle it all over my broccoli, a full tablespoon at least, okay, all over my broccoli. Or I might just throw some butter and olive oil in a pan and some garlic and kick it up with some flavor. But what I'm doing is I'm adding fat to every meal. Now then, that is just how simple it can be, okay? And you vary it. You can vary it. I know that some people are like, I just don't want to eat eggs every single day. Well, you don't have to. I have 2 breakfasts, pretty much 2. I did an omelet tonight, and that's probably the first omelet I've had since I started keto, honestly, because I'm not a big omelet person. But you can make egg cups. You could do egg casseroles that are really great. You know, some eggs, a little bit of cheese, a little bit of ham, some broccoli or spinach. You know, you can make it up into individual servings in a muffin pan, or you could just bake it and cut it into squares. It's that easy. Now, if you totally don't like eggs, that's okay too, because I love chia seed porridge. It is my go-to friend. That's the other breakfast I eat. If I'm not eating eggs and bacon and avocado, then I'm eating this chia seed porridge, which the recipe, again, it's in the group under the recipe files. It's a fantastic breakfast. It's a hot, creamy cereal that you add butter to and heavy whipping cream in the morning. It's super high fiber. It's good high protein. And when you add fat, again, you're going to get really, really good results. So that's the way I approach keto and eating and meal plans. Keep it clean. Now, when you've kept it clean all week long and you're eating salads and you're drinking broths and you're eating good clean breakfasts and you're eating clean protein and clean vegetables and adding fat, then when the weekend comes, indulge. Learn to make a fathead pizza. Learn to make mug bread. Learn to make mud cakes. I say it sounds like mud, huh? But it's not mud. It's mug. Mug. So, you know, you'll learn to make things, all right? Now, I also will say this. Okay, I don't know why it said trying to reconnect there for a second. The other thing that I will tell you guys is, let's talk about fat bombs and bulletproof coffees during your first 3 weeks of keto. I see no reason to have bulletproof coffee on your first 3 weeks of keto. Your choice. It's obviously your choice, but I don't think that it's a way to learn to eat clean keto. I think we should put fats first, and then I think we should put it on nutritious food. That way we're getting, if you're having a cup of coffee has 0 nutrients, 0, okay, 0. It has a little bit of caffeine for energy, but you add fat to it, so then you're just drinking some fat. But when you take that same fat and then you put it over eggs, which has protein, then you eat your avocado, which has fiber and protein and vitamins and minerals, and then you've got your amino acids. Do you see the correlation between fat and food? Fat and food work together hand in hand. Fat and coffee is a good tool if you can't get to a meal. That's the way I look at that, okay? So, not that you can't have it. I'm not saying you can't, but I don't recommend it during your first 3 weeks. Okay? I just want to encourage you guys to eat clean. That's how you're going to maximize your results. When I said top tips, these are my top tips, guys. Eating clean is going to maximize weight loss results. Putting fat first is going to maximize your weight loss results. Your supplements. Let's talk about supplements. Starting out on keto, the most important thing that you can do during your first 3 weeks is to invest in some good magnesium, some pink Himalayan salt, and some light salt. Those would be, I would say, my tops. Now you could add some vitamin D or even a multivitamin. I like vitamin D because of my age and I need it for my bones. But honestly, I'm more focused on mineral supplements than I am anything, because you don't want to get the keto flu, which I'm sure you've all heard about. And what happens is when we start keto, our body runs out of, I'm not the science girl, okay? I'm just the word I'm looking for. Our liver starts burning ketones for fuel instead of glycogen. That's the word I think I was looking for. So when you very first start keto and you're burning things up, it's like it just signals your body to start releasing water weight, water retention, water inflammation. That's what inflammation is, guys. It's water and fluids that are just inflamed all around your joints and your body, around your organs. And when you first start keto, particularly, you're going to start running to the bathroom. Well, when you go to the bathroom to pee, you're spilling not only ketones, but you're also spilling sodium, potassium, magnesium. And drinking plain water is not going to replace it, because your water doesn't have those minerals in it that you need. So go ahead and invest in good magnesium and potassium and light salt, and you can make yourself a little keto drink during the day, or you could just take the supplements and it'll help. Absolutely. I did not go through the keto flu. I knew what to do. Somebody said that's what you need to focus on. Just make sure you keep that going and you won't get the keto flu. And that's the truth. So, keto flu covered. Yes. I was going to say one more thing just right then and I forgot. I'll come back to it. Okay, so we've got supplements down. We've got eating clean down. We've got how important fats are down. You guys now know my opinion on bulletproof coffees. Let's see what else I know I'm missing something here. I really do. Water. I guess we'll talk about water. Now, Dr. Berry says that, our body is programmed to drink when we're thirsty. If we're thirsty, we will drink. I agree with him on that, but I can be thirsty as all get out, and this is from a fat girl perspective here, let me tell you, okay? I won't drink water even if I'm thirsty. I get in moods where I don't want water. Not that I don't like it, I just don't want it, especially during the colder winter and fall and early spring. It makes me cold, and I will literally not be able to open my mouth at night. I'll wake up, it's so dry. So I think you should drink water. That's my thing. Let me pick this up for you. I have this cup. It's 30 ounces. There's no ice in it. I just fill it up, okay? I'm trying to be mindful of my fluid intake. Yes, I get fluids when I'm drinking coffee or tea or something like that, but this is it. This is my go-to. All right, so I try to drink at least 3 of these a day. Sometimes I don't quite make it, but that's my goal, 3 of these. Most of the time it's 2.5, and then I take it to bed with me at night and sip on it. So I'm going to start answering questions, and then we will, I will try to get through every single one of them. So if you all will be patient with me, I'm going to scroll so that the person at the top who asked the first questions can get answered. Okay, so I got to the beginning, and let's see. I've still got lots of hellos and highs and shared. Oh, wait, shared. Kim Stanley, thank you so much. Oh, I got to give you a shout out, lady. Thank you for sharing, guys. I appreciate that. If I see more shares, whoever shared in here, whoever shared this, I'm gonna stop and give you that shout out right there. Molly, Angelica, okay. Okay, Rebecca Puckett says, cooking meal in the crock pot. Can I drink the broth kind of like bone broth, yes or no? Definitely like bone broth. I tell you what, I always keep my pan drippings, and they don't last long, mind you, but if I've got a pot roast on, I definitely use those pan drippings to put over my cauliflower because it's got the fat from the meat, and I actually cook my pot roast with a half stick of butter. So I get lots of fat, definitely. Chickens, ham, I keep it all, and I drink it, and I put it on all kinds of vegetables. It's good. Okay, so let's go. Brittany Lee, yes, girl, I still take my natural calm. I love it. And that takes me back to what I forgot, because I was talking about minerals and magnesium. When you first start keto, like I said, it's really super important to keep all of that going strong. Now, as we stay on keto and we go longer periods of times, we might not experience keto flu symptoms like when we first started, but we still are susceptible because you stop and think about it. We aren't eating as much. By the time we are here where we are now, we are in week, 13 now? Yeah. I'm just not hungry. So therefore, I'm not eating like loads of avocados and loads of spinach and loads of food. And sometimes I'm just like, I'm happy to get, one breakfast in and a half a meal. So I will experience like cramping in my legs or cramping in my feet, which I was prone to. So yes, I take my natural calm. As a matter of fact, I still make up my little keto drink. And I tried Dr. Berry's and Nishi's little drink today with the ACV. Pretty tart, but mind you, I didn't use any sweetener. But if I drink a nice, what's the difference? I mean, it's like having a Powerade or a Gatorade. People drink them all the time. I've just gotten to where I make up one a day with my powdered natural calm, and good for go. Okay. Yes, ham is acceptable. Ham is one of the great things. Do try to get away from like sugar hams, maple hams, glazed hams, things that have been coated in sugar. I avoid them. For instance, I was over here at Cracker Barrel and I went for the country ham and avoided the sugar ham. And when you go to the store, just look at the label. See how many carbs it has. You make your choice. It'll be fine. But love me some ham. Okay, up we go. Matilda says, do you suggest strict keto for a beginner? Yes, I do. Or can I also cheat somehow? You know what? That is a great question. I gotta leave this on. That's a great question. Can I cheat? No, you can't. Look, guys, you can't cheat the keto diet because if you do, you're not gonna lose any weight. And you are probably going to gain weight, and then you're going to feel guilty and beat yourself up, and then you're going to feel like, you're a failure, and it sucks. I know because, why? I did it. Been there, done it. Know lots of people who have. You can stay, what I try to tell people is stay strict keto for like 5 days, okay? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Take that week. Eat clean. Strict, if you will, but eat clean. And then enjoy the weekend. If you want to, if you're one of those kind of organized people who can meal prep, make your fathead pizza dough in advance. You can bake it and freeze it. You could leave it in a ball and stick it in the freezer and thaw it and bake it. You do what you want. But then come Friday night, have some fun. Let your hair down. I like to drink wine. Sometimes I like to drink vodka. Sometimes I like to take a shot of Crown, y'all. I'm not saying that, hey, you have to be strict, but you have to be mindful. So if you spend 5 days eating super clean, and then you want Friday or the weekend to roll around and hang out with the family or grill in the backyard, and then do it. Just enjoy keto cheat foods. So do the keto pizza, or make yourself a cake, or make some chocolate mousse, or make something that you would enjoy that's keto-fied, and you won't feel deprived. You won't feel like you're missing out. I remember Tanisha Johnson when she first started, and we were talking about wine and drinking adult beverages, and she was like, but she likes sweet wine. Well, you can have sweet wine, guys. It's a simple thing. You just buy a bottle of either Chardonnay, which is very dry white wine, or some Sauvignon Blanc, which is not so dry, but it's wet, and it's the lowest carb white wine there is. And instead of pouring a big glass and drinking it, pour half a glass and top it off with either sparkling mineral water flavored of your choice. And then if you really have to have some sweet in it, put a little drop of Mio water of your flavor of choice. It's delish. It's delish. There's ways to enjoy the keto life. But like anything, you have to be moderate. Like, I wouldn't sit there and drink wine every night, or I wouldn't eat cake every night. So eat clean, and then enjoy the weekend a little bit, or whatever days you want. I'm going to keep on scrolling. I hope I answered that okay for you. Okay. But you find so many new amazing foods. You know, guys, it's true. I love food. I do. I feel like this. My own personal opinion on it is, before keto, I felt like I was literally a slave to it. I obsessed about it. Obsessed. I woke up, went thinking about it. I went to bed thinking about it. And all day long, I was eating it. But here's the thing. Now that I'm keto, I still love food, and I don't have that attachment. But I look at it like this. Even though I enjoy eating clean because it's simple, I also enjoy creating food because I really feel like that's how we can stay with it the rest of our life. So if I can create something new and bring it to the keto world and bring it to the keto people and contribute with what skills I have, then we've just expanded our little keto menu, haven't we? You know, with a new fat bomb flavor, or, you know, a new recipe, so we don't get bored. All right, so that's the thing. I do see lots of food. Try it. Make a night of, like, one night a week or 2 nights a month or something like that. Say, hey, totally going to try something new I've never tried before. Be adventurous. Try a new keto recipe, you know. Okay, Big Mac, yes. With the bun, no. True that, guys. Now, you can go, if you're in a pinch or whatever, I've drove straight to Sonic and ordered a burger, no bun, or Five Guys. You can go to certain places and get, you know, whatever they've got, whether it's burgers or regular sit-down restaurants. You can order things without the bread or without the sugary sauces or glazes or things like that. You can definitely do it. I enjoy going to Chili's quite often. Why? Because it's the only restaurant in town. I mean, we've got a couple, but it's the only restaurant in town. My husband and I, it's like our little hangout spot. And so, yes, I enjoy going to restaurants. I usually order hot wings with the bone-in, celery, blue cheese. I order a steak, broccoli, and salad. Everybody knows this about me. And I also order a tall vodka with club soda. And then I put a little spritz of my Mio water in there, and I'm good for the evening. So you can go to restaurants. You just have to be mindful. And know yourself. I know that I can sit at a table while everybody else is having chips and salsa and not touch them. You might not be that way. I know some people who are just like, I couldn't resist. I had to have some chips. Well, then you're going to knock yourself out of ketosis. And it's going to take all that much longer. So be mindful. Be ready. You know, be ready for it. If you're strong-willed and you know that no matter what, you're going to stay keto, then you're probably good for go. But if you're wavering and you're easily swayed, then stay away from those restaurants until you're stronger and more adapted. Oh, and the other thing, let's talk about alcohol real quick. This is a really good tip. You can have alcohol. Now, it says no alcohol on the keto diet, but I'm saying no. I love to have me a drink. And I will tell you, once a week, I usually head over to my brother-in-law's house, and we have a social night, and we'll hang out and karaoke and have some drinks. And I take my Dasani black cherry water, and I take a bottle of wine, and I enjoy myself. I just use a little wine and then I top it. And I do this. And a bottle of wine will last me a couple of weeks or so. So you can. But I do know that when I have that glass of wine, my liver, here's another thing, my liver is going to burn the alcohol before it burns the ketones. So it kind of stops, maybe for a day and a half, but I keep eating keto and my weight loss is still going. Just know that it burns alcohol first and then it goes back to whatever because it gets a hold of it. And also, if you drink full strength liquor and you're not watering it down like I do, you will get drunk off your butt because keto and alcohol, it just goes straight to you. You get drunk really fast. So be very careful with alcohol, y'all. All right, that was another tip I did want to bring up. All right, we're going to keep on going. Hello, hello, hello. Hashtag truth. Thank you, lady. Keeping it scrolling, fat first. Making your own butter is awesome. Good, better, best. You have a mix of all of it. Oh, yay. Yes, and Aldi's. If you guys have Aldi's, it is a great place to go shopping. We have one. We actually have almost two. They're working on a second one. Yes, avocado oil. I'm going to keep on going. Let's see. Okay, let's talk about this. Brittany Lee says, I only get hungry around Shark Week. That is going to be a common thing, guys. But go ahead and eat. Who cares if you gain a pound or two? It'll come right back off. But don't cheat. You know, don't go off plan. But this is where fat bombs come into play. Not the fast ones that we're talking about, the new stuff, but the actual fat bombs. Before Shark Week ever comes, you know, go putter in the kitchen and make some simple fat bombs, your favorite flavors, put them up in the freezer. They will be ready. I'm the same way. I don't really crave chocolates or sweets until it's about a week prior to my monthly shark attack, and I want to eat everything, and particularly I want sweets. So that's when I will do some heavy whipping cream and some berries. You can make your fat bombs. You can have a mug cake. You can make chocolate mousse and frost your mug cake with it. I mean, it's do what you got to do, and maybe eat extra bacon, or maybe even eat extra cauliflower mash. You know, just if you're hungry, eat. That's what I tell everybody. If you're hungry, eat. Just be mindful and still get your fats in. And the longer you're on it, I think the less cravings you have, or at least I am. So that's a good point. Hormones do come into play. Eat fats, eat fat bombs. But then when your period's over, don't just keep eating them. You just don't want to eat too many fat bombs. Do you add fat to the broth? What? Oh, okay. So let's talk about the broth. I add, not while it's cooking. I just make bone broth, you guys. And I will take I put it in pint jars. So when I open a jar up, I will put it in a mug and I'll pop it in the microwave till it's nice and hot. And then I take a tablespoon of butter and I put it down in my mug and I just stir it and let it melt. And you can stir it and drink it and stir it and drink it. It's very delicious. It's very, very decadent, okay? Satisfying. And it has so many healing properties, especially if you can get a hold of some good bone broth. You can buy, I don't know the brands, but I know that you can buy some good quality bone broth. But if you make it at home, it's pretty darn cheap. And it's so healing for your gut, for your GI system. It helps rebalance the flora and the mess that we have in our intestines from eating bad too, believe it or not. So it helps promote the good bacteria, good for your hair, your nails, your skin, your joints. It's good. It's good stuff. So yes, add it to it after you heat it up. It's so good. So good. Okay. I have added butter and black pepper to bouillon for years to make me feel full and satisfied. See, there you go. That's good, Gloria. Yep, and Kathy is saying it's delicious. She's done it too. Okay. Egg and sausage casserole. Yes, that's another great one. Okay. Everybody's saying hi, Cece. Hi, Cece. Love mud cakes. Yes, yes, yes. Good job. I thought, okay. It took me months to get the courage to try BPC because it sounded so weird, but once I tried it, I have to see more. Was hooked. And that's cool. If you're still losing weight and you're enjoying your BPCs, that's fine, guys. But I will tell you this. Most of the messages that I get in my inbox of people saying, you know, hey, I've been doing this and this, and I'm stalled. I will tell you that probably 90% of them are all BPC drinkers. Every time. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's the BPC. Because what it does is it kind of puts you to maintenance mode. You know, you're getting just overkill. For every 10 pounds you lose, you kind of don't eat as much naturally. But if you're keeping that BPC going, you're still keeping that fat going, you're going to stall. So if you're in a stall and you've been drinking BPCs, try cutting them out and see if that doesn't help. Okay. Potassium. Yes, potassium. Again, potassium, magnesium, and sodium are really important, and it is important to use pink Himalayan salt or the sea salt of any kind, but sea salt and light salt in combination, because the light salt is the potassium. It's made out of potassium chloride. So you do want to use 2 salts when you are making your drinks or salt shaking your foods. I actually got low on sodium, of all things, because I didn't think of it. Now I do. Sorry. I talked to you like I was my family member, right? Okay. I have eaten keto since September 17th. I'm going back to the basics of this way of eating. There you go. Basics are a good thing. Okay. All right. We're going to keep on going here. See if I've got some questions. I see a share. Belinda Grimm shared. Thank you, Belinda Grimm. Shout out to you. I appreciate that share. Thank you. No, you cannot have steel oats for breakfast. Sorry, but oats are on the no keto list. Again, I think that chia seed cereals and flaxseed cereals, there's a combination of all, like hemp hearts. You can create some really good hot cereals that are absolutely delicious, really good. And we have the recipes posted in groups. So, but we do not do oatmeal. We don't do cream of wheat. We don't do malto-meal or any of those other wheat grain cereals. Nancy Lewis shared. Yay! Thank you, Nancy. I appreciate it. Okay. Sonia Miller shared. Thank you, Sonia. Okay, Lanny Williams says, I'm recently starting and just feel discouraged with macro counting. Very time consuming, and I want to see more there. Stressful. Any tips? Yes, girl, I do have tips for you. Quit. Stop it. Don't do it anymore. I don't count. I don't think it's beneficial in the sense that I think when you first start keto, if you want to kind of plug your numbers into a calculator, because that can be helpful to say, oh, wow, for my age, for my height, for my weight, and for my activity level, it says that I probably should have maybe 100 grams of fat a day and probably about 75 grams of protein, and of course 25 net carbs or less. So you've got a general idea, you know. All you have to focus on is fats first and then clean food, and you're going to be so full. What if you don't hit 100? Do you need to eat more? What if you don't, hit 77 macros or grams of protein? You just want to eat till you're full. And I love how Dr. Berry put this. He put this so well. Prior to keto, did you stop and think about, the Big Mac you were eating, or the French fries, or the pizza, or the donuts, or any of the junk food that you were eating? Were you ever mindful of going, wow, I'm only on my 5th Twinkie, I better, wonder how many calories I've ate? No, we didn't do that. We just ate whatever we wanted mindlessly, and it was terrible. And then all of a sudden we start keto and we are freaking out because, oh my God, I didn't hit my macros. I still have 30 grams of fat. What do I eat? Are you hungry? No. Then don't eat. Don't worry about it. You don't have, it's not a formula. And I know that some people live for it, and that works for them. And I say, if that works for you, then that works for you. But if you find yourself frustrated and stressed, then don't do it. Don't even worry about it. Especially if you make sure you're eating on plan. If you know you're eating, good vegetables and good proteins, and you're getting your fats in, and you're feeling good, and you're losing weight, then you should feel great. I think sometimes those macro counters aren't always spot on either. I know of at least 4 or 5 that you can go in and put your results in, and not one of them is going to be the same. Not one. So just eat till you're full. And when you first start out on keto, guys, it's really important. Super, super important. Eat till you're full. I can't stress this enough. When you start out on keto, you might want 3 eggs. You might want 4 slices of bacon. You might want some keto mug bread. You might want some tomatoes or avocados, whatever. Eat this big old plate of food. That's what I did. I started out with look at this giant keto plate of food. And then by day 3, I was like, I've already tossed off that, and I've already tossed off this, because 3 days of eating fat, and my appetite was already cut by 20%. So just start out enjoying it. Okay, I know this is going on. Let's see. I need to ask, the beef broth at Walmart, is it okay to drink? If you're just starting out and that's what you can get, then that's what you can get. That's what I say. They have 2 kinds. One says beef flavored and the other one says beef broth. Try to get the beef broth, but you do what you can, because it is high sodium and you want it. But they use a lot of caramel colorings and stuff. So they have one imitation and one real. So go for the real one and you'll be all right. Natural Calm is available at any of your health food stores. I think, I don't know about Trader Joe's because we don't have one close by, but Natural Grocers, Drug Emporium, the Granary, a lot of health food stores carry it. You can even order it online with Walmart, but they don't carry it in store. But they did start carrying MCT oil, guys, for $12.92 for a bottle of pure 100% MCT oil. Good deal, $12.92 at our store. So can we eat protein bars or protein shakes? I have one that is 2 carbs, and it has made with almond milk, 0 sugar. That sounds like a pretty good deal. I would more be wondering, just look at your label and see what type of sweeteners they used. If they're using erythritol or xylitol or stevia, and they're using really good keto ingredients, that would be great. Be careful for things like Atkins bars and Quest bars and stuff like that. Some of the things that they use can be really stomach upsetting and cause cravings. That's one of those personal choices. It might be for you, but not for somebody else. So you just want to make sure there's no sugars in it. Okay, Debbie, is it inevitable to have the bad breath, which indicates ketosis, and so how can it be dealt with? Well, try eating. Ketosis, number 1 culprit is high protein. So when you first get rid of all your carbs and you are eating more protein, it goes away, because here's the thing too on keto. It's not Atkins, so you don't have to eat copious amounts of protein in order to get full. You're not eating protein to get full. You're just eating it to keep your muscles strong. Okay? So if you're a female and you would normally have a 4-ounce portion of chicken, then stick with the 4-ounce portion of chicken. We don't need bunches of it, because when we overeat protein and we're eating too much protein, it can stall us. It can be used like glucose and burn like carbs, and it can give us bad breath. So try to back down and eat your veggies. Eat those leafy greens, and particularly parsley is really good, and mint. You can chew it, put it in your meals, put it in your salad. Just do some flat leaf parsley, sprinkle it off in your salad. It really gets at that breath. Okay, but after you've been on it for a little bit, it should go away. I ended up with it. My granddaughter was like, "Ooh, Grandma, you got stinky breath." It went away though, thank God. Okay. Is sugar-free stuff allowed? So many mixed opinions. You're so right, Lanny. I'm going to say Lanny or Lonnie. Lanny Lonnie. All right. It really kind of depends. It's a personal choice. So certain sweeteners, for some, can cause cravings. It can also cause inflammation. It can also cause gut distress, GI problems, bloating, diarrhea. I mean, it just depends on the sweetener. I try not to, me personally, I won't touch anything with sorbitol. It's used in like ice cream, sugar-free candy bars, sugar-free protein bars. Sorbitol is like one of the big, easy, cheap, chemically processed sweeteners, and I don't like it. It messes with me, so I don't eat it. But somebody else maybe has a piece of it and they're totally fine. Now, I enjoy Diet Coke. It's real life, you know. Now, I will say this. I'm probably drinking maybe one a week now. Maybe it's two. But again, it's a personal choice. For some people, they can't do it. You just can't. And here's what I say about artificial sweeteners or the foods that contain them. If you eat them and you're still losing weight and you have no problem with them, then that's fine for you. If you eat them and all of a sudden you've got problems medically, you're having a reaction or you're stalling and you can't lose weight, then it's not for you, and eliminate it. Okay? If you're having a Diet Coke here and there and then all of a sudden you stall, you might cut it in half and modify it. So that's why I always say adjust, modify, and eliminate when it comes to questionable items. Questionable items are things like artificial sweeteners, alcohol, and a few off things like, when you're looking at a, say, prepackaged processed keto food. Just look at the labels and check to see what it has in it. Okay, cooking mustard greens with pork jowls now. Oh my God, I love those. I love greens any way, shape, or form, and Southern style is my favorite. Had an In-N-Out protein style and gained 5 pounds overnight. It was crazy. See, for some people it could be like that. So, okay. And so Gloria limits herself to 1 BPC a day. That's good. What causes like heartburn before my dinner? Well, I don't know how long you go in between your meals, and I don't know what you're drinking in between your meals. And I don't know if you're a smoker or a non-smoker. All kinds of things come into play when it comes to heartburn. But generally speaking, the health benefits, that's another thing I haven't touched on. I lived on Zantac. I don't have heartburn anymore. So we'll have to take a look at specifically what you ate or how far apart your meals are to see. Because sometimes too much caffeine can cause heartburn. Sometimes cigarette smoke can cause heartburn. Sometimes not drinking water and getting enough fluids can cause it. So it's variable on that. Kathy has a couple of BPCs early morning and then not hungry for hours. How's your weight loss going? That's what I would ask. If you were drinking 2 BPCs and in the morning and they're not hungry for hours, do you eat later into the evening? It's one of those things. If you're not losing weight, then I would consider that. If you are, there you go. You're good for go. Maybe you've addressed this already, but what are your thoughts on eating nuts? Nuts are great. Nuts are good. I'm not a big fan of peanuts. Those are actually legumes, which are on our no list, but I think you can have natural creamy peanut butter if it's just salt and nuts. The rest of the nuts, though, almonds, walnuts, pecans, macadamias, cashews, they're good sources. They're a good snack. Again, it's a good snack. I like to take a little bit of cream cheese, sprinkle some cinnamon in it, give it a good stir, put it on some celery, and then I top it with walnuts. Very, very tasty, healthy snack. Good source of fat, fiber, and protein. Nuts are good, but again, it's one of those things. Measure out what you want, okay? So usually a serving of nuts is 1 ounce. So get you the little container or put it in there, and then when you eat it, you eat it. Just because they do have carbs, guys, so watch out for carb creep. All right, I'm going to keep going. Okay, what section was the MCT oil in at Walmart? In the section where you find all the diet products, the Atkins bars, the protein powders, and diet pills and stuff like that. Okay. Tanisha Chapman says, I love to have a glass of wine here and there. Is it okay to drink, or will it bring me out of ketosis? Again, I have not experienced going out of ketosis if I water it down. You figure, if I'm allowed 25 net carbs a day, and I've maybe have had, 10, 11, 12 of them or whatever, and I want to have a glass of wine. A glass of wine is usually like 5 carbs or less for a 5-ounce glass. So what I do is I put about 2.5 ounces. So that's a half a glass. So that's only 2 carbs. And then I top it all the way to the, to the cup is full of a flavored, my favorite, black cherry Dasani water. And I top it off. I can sip that. It's got a wonderful wine flavor. I can't even stand the taste of strong wine right now. Real wine, just straight up wine is too strong for me because I've become addicted to just drinking it down. And I can sit there and I can enjoy 4 glasses of wine at a social night of partying. I'll have 4 glasses of wine and I might get 8 carbs because usually by the end of the night I'm mostly this much and this much. So just be mindful, but you can still enjoy your wine. Okay, somebody's answering questions. Good. I stalled on stevia. For some people it happens. This is the thing, Betty. Sweeteners are one of those subjective things. Sometimes people have reactions to them. Sometimes it's stevia, xylitol. For instance, Cece Compton, who is in here, she doesn't do sweeteners. She doesn't do them at all because they stalled her, so she does not do sweeteners. It's, again, if you have an issue with it and you can't seem to lose weight and you know that maybe you've been, putting sweetener in your coffee or your tea, or you've been eating fat bombs, or you've been sweetening things like cakes and things like that, then try cutting out the sweetener and see what happens. Sad, but that's how we find out, is by trial and error. Okay, here we go. I'm down at the bottom, guys. How do you test or know if you are in ketosis? And that's just a wonderful way to do this and finish it out. Because I was going to talk to you about keto products right here at the end, and so this is great. Keto sticks, keto meters. A lot of people, again, want to have some confirmation that they are in ketosis. And so you can, if you're starting out, if you feel you must, you can buy keto strips at the store, and they're only good for the first few weeks of keto, guys. After you've been on keto for a month or so, they really are not reliable, in the sense that when you first start keto, when you go to the bathroom and you pee on the stick, you're spilling ketones, okay? You're spilling them. And so that stick is going to turn dark, dark, dark. And then the longer you've been on the keto diet, the lighter the stick's going to be, and you're like, what the heck? No, your body is becoming fat adapted. Your body is burning ketones, not spilling ketones. There's a difference of burning ketones and spilling ketones. So you can buy it in the beginning if you want that confirmation. They're quite addictive. I did it years ago when I tried Atkins. I was addicted to peeing on sticks. But I haven't bought any at all. I don't buy them. Keto Meters. Now that's another product that is quite expensive, actually. It's expensive to buy, and then for each little kit that you use, you're going to know, because you're going to have weight loss, you're actually going to start noticing a difference in your urine odor. To me, it has, like, it's not really a fruity, but it, I don't know. There's just this odor, and there's this lack of odor when you're going to the bathroom too. Like your poo's gonna quit stinking, and your urine's not gonna be urine-y smelling, and you're gonna start feeling flat, and you're gonna start gaining mental clarity, and it's just a process. Usually about day 3 is when you hit ketosis. and especially if you're eating clean. Now, guys, let's talk about things like exogenous ketones, keto drinks, keto powders, keto. All this stuff is hitting the market like crazy. It's flooded right now. If you take these powders or if you drink this shake, then you're going to be able to, burn more ketones and no, you're not. Your body's going to do what it's supposed to do when you're eating the food you're supposed to be eating, and you don't need extra. Dr. Berry explained it very well about exogenous ketones. He says, look, if I take a pregnant lady, or a lady, let's say, who goes into my doctor's office and says, I want to get pregnant, he could give her a shot of HCG and tell her to go pee on a stick, and it's going to pop out and show that, she's pregnant, even though she's not. Why? Because it creates HCG in her body, and when she pees, it pees it out, and she's getting a false negative. And that's the same thing with exogenous ketones. You're putting ketos in that you're just going to pee out. So basically you're buying this recyclable stuff, when in reality, if you're eating clean, you do not need to buy any powder. You can go pee on that stick. It'll be confirmation that you're already spilling your ketones. So that's the good thing. All right, guys, I think I've answered all the questions that scrolled by. I hope you guys found this very informational. I hope it helped you. Keto is fantastic, and we're here to help you along the way, and I hope that your progress and your results and everything happens for you guys, okay? I'm going to wrap it down. Guys, please do me the favor of share. That's how I get paid. Sharing gets it out there, all right? You guys have a wonderful, blessed night, and I will catch you all Wednesday when we're going to talk about fast bombs and Easter and all kinds of great stuff coming up, okay? Thank you, Brittany. I appreciate it, guys. So sweet. All right. Talk at you later. Thank you, Heather.